this year. It seems like he's doing a little bit more. He's not so much of like a poacher as he was under Tata, but he's playing more of like a complete striker role. Just kind of what has been, is that true in your opinion, and kind of what is your assessment of him then?
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously, he helped us, especially in this last game, where he slips balls through and drops deeper, especially with the high line like that. It adds a little bit more to him, to his game, I think, where now defenders really going to have to not just watch their back shoulders and make runs in behind, but really go with him in the midfield. If he can make those passes as well, then he adds a little bit, another wrinkle to his game, I think, where he helps us quite a bit. Every time we can play through him and get the ball to his feet, and then he lays it off or turns, that opens up so much more for us in the attacking third. And, obviously, I think that's a little bit of credit to losing Miguel, where he was kind of underneath doing that kind of stuff more, where now we all around him, now everybody else in the field has to kind of pick up a little bit of that.
How might that work against a team that likes to counterattack like Dallas, where they may sit deeper for starters anyway?
Yeah, in that way, I think it's not so much where it's going to be crowded underneath anyway, so Joseph doesn't really have to drop much then, where it's more for us around him, trying to create the space where we have to have runners past him for them to draw defenders with us, for him to maybe get on the ball, or he needs to run behind to open up the space for somebody else underneath. So I think that's the way we want to create that space and then get in between the lines.
I feel like that you sort of made a name for yourself last year playing the early balls to Joseph, like sending it in from the flank that he was getting on the end of. How does his role, being more of a playmaker, change your role with the team?
Yeah, it changes not that much, to be honest with you, just because, I think whenever he gets the ball underneath or drops deep, we have to have runners as forwards. We have to have somebody step in that's really a true number 9, and, that's kind of my role, where I try and recognize that, when he comes deep, like we did in New England, where I go around the keeper and then at a tight angle there, but something like that, where he drops the ball, like I said, then we have to go beyond him. If that's me, if that's somebody else, whatever. But if he's high and I'm on that wing and then I know what movement he's doing, I just need to look up and I know that he's going to make the run, that really hasn't changed. I think we saw that as well in the last few games.
You mentioned, go ahead.
We spoke with Tito yesterday, and you mentioned in this formation the wingers have more defensive responsibilities. Have you noticed that as well, especially in that New England game, you having to track back more or change your formation?
You're not so much a winger, you're more of a midfielder, and I think that's kind of been just the way that we've played, the way we've set up this year. But, it's good that he recognizes that and he's not shying away from it. I'm not shying away from it, so we're definitely willing to do the work.
Do you think that, you mentioned Miguel being gone, and do you think that maybe the team relied on him so much last year that this year, with him not in the lineup, that it could potentially create a more dynamic attack because there's just more players having to do more?
It's just a little bit different. I don't think necessarily more or less dynamic. Miguel is a player that draws attention everywhere he steps on the field, even for Newcastle, for opponents. So there's just the type of player he is. So it's just going to be a little bit different. Like I said, we're just going to have to, like we did in New England, where different people make different kinds of movements. And Miguel was kind of all over the field, so we tried and play off of him a bit more. In that way, but now it's obviously more of like a combination of movements, like I move there, you move there, like kind of those kind of things.
How are you feeling physically? You took a pretty hard spike to the leg. Now a few days afterwards, your adrenaline's worn off. How are you feeling physically? Was that one of the harder fouls that you've taken on the field?
I think so. I got actually lucky, that my leg wasn't planted. I pulled it up in the last minute, last second there, so actually felt all right. We just have a few scratches. That's it. That's all I have for them.
Y'all had a tendency to go on unbeaten streaks last year, and now I think you haven't lost in 3. I think that's right. Does it feel like y'all are starting to put together some momentum now?
Yeah, we've said it before. We've had a good 2 weeks of training, and then a lot before the New England game, and now we want to have the results, and the results will change the way we feel, will change the way. We'll get our confidence back on the field, and especially now with the outlook, I think 4 out of the next 5 are at home, I think. So, we gotta be really hungry for these 5 upcoming games, and then be really focused on getting points and collecting points and moving up in the standings.
Yes, Julian?
How's the Gresselmania launch been? I know it's a few months into it. I've seen my social media pay more attention to it. How's it been for you, just putting yourself out there business-wise?
It's been good. You know, it's still the start. It's only the start. So looking forward to continuing it. I actually got to write another post soon here.
I feel you.
But yeah, no, it's been fun. You know, it's been something different to think about and kind of getting my mind a little bit off of the game and just trying to stay active in that way as well.
And how have you handled it? Are you handling it yourself? Do you have a team with you? How's that process been building the site?
Yeah, I have a team with me. You know, I'm only really writing the blog posts, and that's it. You know, where I consult where I talk to them about kind of what we want to roll out and whatnot. You know, but yeah, it's just been a fun process with the whole squad.
And then
Any update on the green card?
What?
Any update on your green card?
Well, we've filed for the green card now. You know, through the marriage. So anything else? And I was just gonna be waiting and seeing what the government has to say about it.
I don't know if there was like a tracking status like Domino's Pizza.
I don't have that tracking status. The lawyers might, but I don't.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Julian. Thanks, man.